For our final project this semester, we're going to be spending the last 2 weeks of the semester working on a handheld security terms application. We've been saving all of these terms from our textbook, putting them into a database called terms definition. And if we look in there, we got an ID, a page number, a term, and a definition. We're going to be using just these two fields here. If we look at the data here, this is, of course, a very small one. But anyway, we have terms and we have definitions, okay? Let's go ahead and, let's take a look at this real quick too. The program's going to start up with a splash activity right here. It's going to show your name and things like that and a date. And then it's going to flash from there all by itself to this switchboard activity, which is going to connect to the database. And we're going to have two menu items on there, dictionary and quiz, and then of course an exit to exit out of the application. If we press the dictionary menu item, this is going to pop up, quite similar to our Spanish, English app that we built. But then we also have this handheld security terms, okay, quiz, which is going to show a term, and it's also going to allow us to select one of these and say, yes, you're right, or no, you're wrong, or something like that. Okay, let's go ahead and open up a new project, empty activity, handheld security terms, all one word with capital letters in there like that. Say finish, wait for it. Once again, I'm following documentation here. Okay, I'm at 1.2. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and create a new project, okay, just like this. And immediately after that, we're going to add a new splash activity, okay? You guys should remember how to do this. What do? We right-click right here. Yours, of course, won't say Tom DeYoung. It should say your name in here. I'm going to right-click on there. Say a new activity and a blank activity. Empty activity. We're going to call this splash, okay? S-P-L-A-S-H, like that, activity. And finish. Wonderful. When that's all done, you can go into your resources here, go to your layouts, open up your activity splash, and let's throw some stuff in here. We're going to take and throw 3 text views in here like this. 1 and 2 and 3. And let's make this big so we can see it better. And I'm going to take that top one, and I'm going to anchor it to the top like this, left and right, like we always do. Whoop, got away. The other one, same thing for this one here. I'm going to anchor this one to the bottom of this one, just like that, and left and right again, like that. Something we just, and of course, if you don't do this, what happens is your application will start up and stuff will be bouncing all over the walls, okay? And so go ahead and do something like that, to the left and right again. You don't have to anchor it to the bottom, that's fine, okay? And now we're going to take and we're going to, oh, come on, there's a little finger right there. Take that and drag that one down a little bit, drag this one down a little bit. Keep them kind of aligned with each other for now, okay? Something like that. This top one here, we're going to make these all 18, so they're a little bit bigger. Go ahead and grab each one, make them all 18 like that. Bottom one, make that one 18 also. Top text, we're going to say handheld right there. And held security terms like that, okay? And this one here, we're going to put some text here. This is going to be created by your name. My name's Tom DeYoung. Put your name in there though. I want it created by you, not by me. And then this bottom one here, this one's going to be a date, okay? My date right now is 4/01/2019. I'm laughing because it's April Fool's today, and I am not going to have any April Fool's jokes in this for you, okay? There we go, we got that all done. Now if we look at our instructions here, the next thing we want to do, we got all this stuff done. We want to take and rename our main activity to switchboard, okay? To do that, what you do is you go over here to your main activity. Let me make this smaller so you can see what I'm doing. Main activity right here. Right click on that. Refractor it's called. And rename. We're going to rename this one, not main, switchboard. Once again, switch SW, capital S, okay, switchboard activity like that with no capital B in there. Just like that. Say refractor, and it does it for us, okay? The only problem is it doesn't change it down here, does it? We have to do the same thing down here. So we're going to right click on our activity main.xml. We're going to once again refractor, rename that, and then we're going to call that not main but switchboard. And this is how you change the name of a activity, okay? Now let's go and look at our manifest here. Manifest says what's the first program it's going to load, okay? It's going to load main activity. That's not called main activity. I don't know why it doesn't fix this. I would think it should fix it, but it doesn't, okay? So we're going to call this our switchboard right there like that. Activity. Yeah, make sure you get it right like that, okay? Now, the thing is that this is, see how this one's in the middle and this one's on the outside, the splash is? This is the one that starts up. We want to switch that around, okay? So what I'm going to do is double click on switchboard activity, Control C, and I'm going to paste it over my splash activity like that. And now I have to rename this one splash. P-L-A-S-H. Activity like that, okay? Make sure you don't have red lines here. Now you can go ahead and run it, and you're going to see that sure enough that the splash activity starts up first. And yeah, that's it, okay? Now what we want to do is, we've got this renamed, okay? And oh, we want to do one more thing. We want to take and we want to go to our our switchboard activity, and oops, and the layout. Almost forgot, okay? And make sure that you call this. Make sure that you call this. It says hello world. Make sure you call that text view with a little T and a big VIEW like that. Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'm scrolling down through mine here, and we changed our start of activity. Okay, we got that all done. And now what we want to do is we want to code right here, 125, okay? We want to code our switchboard so it stays on for 2 seconds, and then go ahead and open up. I'm going to copy this code right here, Control C, right there, okay? And that is going to go into our splash activity, and it's going to go right there, okay? Just like that. Once again, click on handler, Alt Enter, make sure you import class. And this one here, you got to do the top one, the Android.os, okay? Same thing for the intent, import class like that. What this is going to do, it's going to hide, okay? Oh, first of all, it hides the action bar, okay? The action bar, let me see if I can find you an example here on an action bar. You're going to see that this one here, this picture of it, where are we here? This one doesn't have an action bar in it. See that? Just showing the example of how you can shut that down if you wish. Make sure I get myself back to where I was again. Yeah, just to overview this thing, okay, what we want to do is we want to take and we want to put a delay in here, and that's got to be a runnable, okay? It's a copy of the runnable class, because it's kind of like when we had to get stuff off the information off the internet. What we got to do is we got to pause here. So therefore, you got to do this on a separate thread. And anyway, inside this, what we want to do is we want to create a new intent. Remember, we did intent before when we went between multiple activities. An intent is a way to load another activity. This is the current activity. This is what we want it to load. And once again, we wanted to do it in 2,000 milliseconds. So in other words, that splash screen will show for 2 seconds, and then it will pop up the switchboard activity for us. Of course, you can change this later on if you want to be longer. You can do it 5,000 or 10,000 for 5 or 10 seconds, okay? The next thing we're going to do according to the instructions is we're going to add these 2 additional activities, okay? We know how to do that by now, don't we? Right click on right there, a new activity and a blank activity. Right there. Empty activity, empty activity, and we're going to call this one the dictionary, capital D-I-C-T-I-O-N-A-R-I, like that. And then also we want to take and we want to add, right click there again, and a new an activity and an empty activity. And we're going to call this one our quiz activity. Quiz activity, just like that, and finish, okay? The next thing we're going to do, rather than having you lay out all these activities, I'm going to give you some code here to do it for you, okay? Yeah, we'll talk about it as we do it. Copy that piece of code there. This is going to be the layout for if we go into our resources and our layout, for our dictionary activity right there, okay? Double click on that. Switch over into text. We're going to take and we're going to add that code right there. And if we go look at our design now, it put a list view in there for us, okay? That way we don't have to worry about you guys misnaming it or something like that. Go back into our document again. You're going to see we have one more little bit of code here. We're going to take and paste this into that new quiz. Make sure you get every line here. Whoop, don't get that one. Sometimes a little bit hard. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here for myself. Sometimes that helps. Grab that code. I'll just get rid of that top one when I paste it in. Control C. Put that back over here again. This time make sure that you're in your activity quiz. Go to the text view tab of that. Put it right here. And of course I got that one bad line at the top. Get rid of that copy. This tiny code doesn't belong in there. Get that out of there. Okay, this has got a whole bunch of stuff in it, okay? I'm going to walk through this for you just a little bit, okay? You can see we got nice radio buttons in here. If we take and open up this linear layout, they're all hidden inside there, okay? Come on. There's a radio group, okay? Sometimes it takes for a little bit for them to pop up, okay? Come on, radio group, let's go, because you're going to see all these buttons inside there, okay? Don't worry about these right here. Sometimes new word, it likes you to put those in a string resource file, which is values and strings right here, but I'm not going to do that because it just takes additional time. This is actually in a vertical linear layout, okay? Those are really nice because you can take and you can line things up really easy. Google it and learn how to do that because it's quite helpful. I'm not going to get into it a whole lot in this class because I want to move on rather than working on a layout, which takes quite a while. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, paste that in right there. The activity should look like this, which they do, okay? Now we're going to create a bunch of menus, okay? We did this once before, okay? It's a little difficult, but not too bad. What we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to right click on our RES right here. And we're going to say a new, and we want to say directory here, and it's called menu, M-E-N-U, okay? And once again, it's called menu, not menus with an S on it, just menu. Say okay. And now we can take that menu, we can right click on there, we can say new, and we can make menu resource files in there like this, okay? Now this first one is going to be for the switchboard, okay? So we're going to have one menu item in there called dictionary, one called quiz, and the other one's going to be called exit so that we can move around and that stuff, and exit if we wish, okay? This is the way I do mine. There's a whole bunch of different ways to do it, but I'm going to call this, this is going to be called my dictionary underscore quiz underscore exit. That way I'll know that this is a menu that will go to these different things. It's going to give me these options. I'm going to say okay. Once I'm in there, I got to actually add 3 menu items. So I'm going to take and drag a menu item there once, menu item in there twice, menu item in there 3 times. I'm going to grab that top one, and I'm going to say, go ahead and make that always. And that puts it right up there for me, okay? And second one too, make that always. And the third one always. That way they always show in your menu bar. They're never hidden. Just for this example, I'm going to do it that way. The first one here is going to actually say in the title, dictionary, capital D-C-T-O-N-A-R, dictionary, okay? And the next one is going to say quiz. And then the third one's going to say exit. This is actually going to show up so you'll be able to see it. That's what you see, okay? Whoops, did it wrong. EX. There. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start naming these. They type them. Once again, I'm going to do it this way. There's many ways to do it, okay? But I'm going to call it menu and then a capital EXIT. This is for menu exit button, okay? This is going to be menu quiz in U in little letters and a capital Q UIZ. And this one's going to be menu dictionary. Oops, capital D. Now, once again, it's important you guys do the same as I do because pretty soon we're going to be using this as a handle, okay? And if that's in the code and you got to type different, okay, we're going to have issues, okay? There we go. Menu quiz, menu dictionary, and menu exit with that one capital letter in there for each one. Let's create another one. Before we do that, however, this one has the search little magnifying glass in there. We have to go to our drawable, and we're going to see a new, and we're going to say a drawable asset, image asset right there. Once again, there we want to have this action bar and tab icons. If we click on this clip art right here, it will pop up. It takes a little bit. If you type in search like that, it'll get you right to that, and you say okay. And we're going to call this IC action icon action search, just like that, icon action search, and say next and finish. Now let's create another menu. We're going to throw that in there, okay? Right click on the menu right there, a new, and a menu resource. This is going to be called just search underscore and exit, because this is going to be for our dictionary one. We want to have a search and we want to have an exit on there, and say okay. And we're going to take and drag 2 menu items on there again, make them always. You don't have to do it this way, but I like to do it that way, so you can do it any way you want. Okay, the first one here, we don't have to put a title in it because we're going to have a icon in there. And if you click on this little 3-dot button here, it should pop up this action search right there, the one we just created. Great. Just like that. This one here, we're going to actually say exit here again, capital EXIT. And then for a name for that one, we're going to say menu exit, like that. And this one here is going to be menu search. Once again, little menu, capital S, and then small EARCH, like that. We got one more. This one's going to be for the quiz one. And for that one, we only need an exit, okay? New menu resource file. Go ahead and call this one just exit. That's all it's going to be. Grab a menu item, throw it in there. Go ahead and make it always. That. Let's type exit. That. And once again, this is going to be menu exit, like that. Lovely. We got those all built. If you take and slip through here, you're going to see each one of these that we just built, okay? This one's going to be like that, and it's going to be for the switchboard. This one's going to be for the dictionary, and this one's going to be for the quiz, okay? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab some code here, okay? We have to put little overrides in here so that these menus will show up. And also it gives it the ability to do something, okay? If we click on one of them. Go ahead and grab this one here, Control C. That one's going to go into switchboard activity, okay? So if we go to our switchboard activity right up here, the code, that's going to get pasted right there, okay? Just like that. Once again, we got little issues here. If we take an Alt Enter those, it'll take care of all the little problems for us. Same thing there. Same thing there. Import class on all these, and intent once again. Import class. I'll review this one real quickly with you, okay? What this does now is this create, okay, on create, okay, that's the switchboard activity that was in there ready, okay? Here's the next two overrides will show and operate the menu. This one here on create options menu. So in other words, this one actually inflates that menu and puts it on the screen. I don't know why they call it inflator, but that's what it is. And then what it does, it gives you an intent is an intent because we're going to send it different intents, okay? If they do click on menu dictionary, we're going to create a new intent and we're going to send it to the dictionary activity, okay? Same thing here, if they click on menu quiz, that item, it sends them to activity quiz. And if it's on exit, then it's just a system.exit, okay? It's kind of how those work. Let's go back to our code here. We're going to grab this next little piece right here. This right here, Control C, it's going to go into our dictionary activity. So make sure you grab your dictionary activity right after this parenthesis here, okay, like that. And once again, we have to do the Alt Enter and the menu inflator Enter, import class and menu item, import class, and then the intent right here, and that'll wrap that right up for us. Okay, just like that, lovely. Now we got one more here. Okay, this one is for the quiz activity, okay? Go and grab that little piece of code right there. Control C. Put up our quiz activity. Once again, right below this curly brace here. And once again, menu, Alt, Enter, import class, menu inflator like that, menu item like import class, intent again, import class, we're all done. At this point, you can actually run this program, and what's going to happen is you're going to hear a splash screen. It's going to pop up, okay? And then you're going to take in, once that's done, you have your switchboard, okay? And you can switch back and forth. Of course, however, the search won't work, but otherwise all the rest of the items should be able to move around, and you should be able to exit out of the program when you're done.